Hello, and welcome to the Mr. 50mm YouTube channel. I'm Mr. 50mm. For today's video, we're going to explore the Amazon. No, I'm not talking about the one with the trees and animals and things. I'm talking about Mr. Jeffy B's Amazon. Specifically, we're going to review the cheapest lens I found on the site. And that, as it happens to be, would be a kind of unbranded 25mm F1.8 C-mount lens. And it is very cheap. No frills, no autofocus, manual f-stops changes only. And I'll be using it on my Fujifilm X-T1 as shown here without the lens. And on the Lumix GH1 with the lens. This is it right here. Ooh. And obviously, for the C-mount lenses, you'll need to have the adapter to have them function on your Fujifilm or Micro Four Thirds camera. And I'll link to the lens itself on Amazon, as well as the adapters on Amazon and on AliExpress. So the lens itself, it only actually costs 32 Canadian dollars, or roughly 24 US dollars at the time of recording. Now, this is, of course, with Prime shipping, and with the adapters from AliExpress, that's where I got my adapters anyways. Altogether, to like get set up for shooting the C-mount lens on one system, it cost about 43 Canadian dollars. So pretty cheap for a combo that'll net you a piece of optic that'll work on one of your cameras. For context as well, the next cheapest lens I found online was the Brighton Star 35mm F1.7 in Fujifilm X mount. That was a whole $69 Canadian, more than double the C-mount lens. Although, 69 bucks, pretty cheap though. Should I get one? Maybe that'll be the next review. Anyways, just to be clear though, I do want to state that this video isn't sponsored by Amazon or by whatever random company makes this lens. It is also not affiliated in any way, so I don't get any kickbacks or whatever from any of the links. They just happen to be where I purchased this stuff. So yeah, this video is brought to you by none other than myself, and I've spent my own Canadian funny money getting the lens and the adapter. So that being said, before we actually get started and review the lens, let's have a look at the Amazon page that I bought the lens from. It's worth a read. Let's go. Let's quickly read the About section. High quality alloy case and good quality lens. Applicable to bars, shops, parking lots, houses and warehouses, etc. It gives you the widest field of view provided by the 16mm C-mount lens. This CCTV camera lens can provide super clear vision for your camera. This lens uses 25mm lens and advanced optical elements to ensure all-around definition and efficiency, light conductivity. Its aperture can be manually adjusted according to the level of light available. Physical examination time. So before we get started, I do want to say, in today's video, we actually do get a bit of an unboxing. I ordered a second one of these lenses, and it came in the mail. So here it is. So you can see, it comes in a little box that says lens. It also says made in China, just in case you were wondering. And yes, the box is kind of beat up. It came in a regular Amazon padded envelope, so I imagine it kind of had a rough ride, but it's fine. We open it up, find the lens is just encased in a single thing of bubble wrap, but Hey, look at that. It comes with front and rear caps. Nice. Now, you can have a look at the lens here. You can see this is actually a very minimal lens design. There's no real brand markings or anything, and the text is fairly minimal. There we go. Now, you might have noticed that the focus and aperture rings are textured, so you do get reasonably good grippage on there, and focusing and changing the aperture is fairly smooth. The aperture change is stepless, so pretty good for video, and it goes from f1.8 to f16. I noticed on the second copy, my aperture indicator there is not quite aligned, but whatever. On my other silver copy, it is. So, you know, QC may be a bit sideways on these, but hopefully both of mine will take reasonably good photos all the same. Another thing I do want to also mention is that the ad that we saw had mentioned that the lens has 12 aperture blades. By my count, and I'm no pro, but I believe it can do some counting. We got 9 blades here, so, you know, where are my 3 blades at? But all in all, it's a lens that comes in a fairly small package. The build is pretty solid. The color looks pretty good. And like I said, the aperture and focusing rings are pretty well dampened. So like I think some of these, like this lens has a better focus than some of my older vintage lenses. And before we move on to the next thing, I just want to show you what it looks like on Fujifilm X-T1 in black. Like personally, I think that this lens looks kind of awesome on the Fujifilm. I think that they match really well. All right. The last thing I do want to mention is the weight. The lens itself weighs in at 127 grams, roughly 13% of a plena. All right, everyone's favorite part, the photo gallery. So, for this set of photos, we're gonna start off with my model, the E-300. By the way, there's a link to the video of the review of that below if you haven't already seen it. But I just want to start off with this to highlight some of the interestingness of this lens. You'll notice that there's a ton of haze from just the LED lights shining directly at the lens there. And when it's wide open, it basically covers the entire frame in haze. On the next photo, we're going to stop down to f2.5, and you'll notice that there's a clear circle in the center with haze everywhere else. And then by f3.5, you get a larger circle, but you still got some haze. And then by f4, that haze is gone. Now, I just wanted to bring this up because it's kind of a overbearing kind of haze, especially wide open. But this can work to your advantage if you're after kind of a dreamy look or a soft kind of aesthetic. And I find that if you're going to stop down a little bit and just have a little clear patch, again, you can go for some interesting effects there. So it's not entirely bad. And I also want to point out that even at f1.8, the lens in the center is pretty sharp, all things considering, especially with the amount of haze that we're seeing in the frame. And you'll notice that in the stop-down images, the lens gets considerably sharper overall, with the lens actually surprising me at f4, being considerably sharp, not only at the center of the frame where the E-300 lettering was, but if you look down to the bottom of the frame where the camera base is, it also looks pretty sharp there. Now, I'm not going to say that the corners are perfect, but for the most part, I'm not expecting a lens like this to be perfectly sharp in the corners, especially given that this is a C-mount lens not originally designed to cover such a large frame. Alright, and with that, let's go look at some other photos. Alright, to wrap it up, I think this lens is a lot of fun, especially for how little money it costs. And like honestly, if you bought like a mirrorless camera and you just didn't happen to have a lens to count that came with it, buying one of these with an adapter might be a fairly fun stopgap for you. It does render images that remind me of older vintage lenses, except you don't have to go hunt for your vintage lens. You can just pick it up on Amazon and have it shipped to you in an instant. So what I'm trying to say is I do recommend this lens. Overall, it's really compact, it's very cheap, it's fun to shoot, and it covers up to APS-C size sensors. Overall fairly good. Not only that, but I was legitimately pretty shocked at how well this did in terms of sharpness, even if it did have a lot of flaring and ghosting problems. That being said, do any of you guys have one of these, or do you actually plan to buy one yourself? Let me know what your thoughts are about this lens in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.